Miss Andronica Klass. So cool. And wait till y'all hear. She's just the coolest accent. It's not like my New Orleans accent. Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear my New Orleans accent? A little bit? You can hear it? You hear that? So if I say something like, say, bro, tell your mom and then we're going to come over there. You good? Gant got that one. All right. So, no, her accent is amazing. So she's going to talk to y'all about nerd stuff, and that's cool. But here's the not nerd thing. Are you ready for this? The other day we had a dude that was a pilot. Then we had another dude that threw axes. This young lady kickboxes. Yeah. Yup. And she's excited. She's been doing it for about 4 months, right? And she's working on her 5th fatality, right? That's good. You're going to get it, too. Gant is going to agree. Just go ahead on roundhouse kick to the top of the head. There's nothing in there. You're going to be all right. So and the reason why I asked this, because y'all know each other from this stuff, right? But at some point, you don't know. There may be another. Is there another kickboxer in here? Okay, you can beat them all up and take their money. Go ahead on. Start working. Axe dude, are you in here? Where the axe dude? See, you ain't worried about him. He what? He's outside? All right, don't mess with him. All righty? So we're going to start off right off the bat with an incredible speaker, wonderful accent, whole bunch of knowledge, and if you don't answer her questions, she's going to kick you. All righty? Give it up for Miss Andronica Klass.
Good morning. I am going to go ahead and unlock my laptop really quickly. Thank you, Mr. Kenneth. I think that the MC of a conference and an event can make or break the conference, and I just want to say this gentleman over here is making it. You have set the tone, you have set the spirit of the conference, so great job on that. And to be honest, I don't know how cool my accent is because it was borrowed from colonizers. So I have a love-hate relationship with it, but it works for me. So hi, everyone. My name is Andronica, and I am going to go ahead and get my presentation started. Let's see if I remember how to put on a slideshow. There we go. Cool. All right. I want to start off by saying thank you to everybody for showing up. Thank you for showing up for yourselves. I think I'm a huge advocate for growth, and one of the best ways to start growing is showing up and ingesting all of the knowledge and information that's being shared. A job well done to yesterday's speakers for the amazing job that you all did. I'm so inspired by each and every one of you, and it's so exciting to be around people who care and love about technology. I have a great joy and love for technology. I am excited by what can become when people who have good intentions just come into the same room and put our hearts and minds together to go in and build products that help people's everyday livelihoods, that increase, just how we live our lives. I do have a special shout out to 2 great individuals who deserve their flowers. Thank you to Kayla and Richard for all of the amazing work. I don't know how you put this together. You've managed to bring together a group of amazing people who all have the same vision of just learning and sharing knowledge. So a job well done to you guys for the amazing work. Next up, I have the Lobster King himself. So I want to say thank you to Todd. Todd introduced me to this opportunity, so if it is not for you, I would not be sharing the stage with amazing speakers and getting to interact with everybody. Now that I have gotten my gratitude train out of the way, I have one intention today, and my intention is to inspire. And I hope to do it in 2 ways. One, I hope to inspire you to invest in going in and giving back to the community. I will share my story and help you understand why this is a passion of mine. Secondly, I hope to inspire each and every one of you to adopt a quality mindset. So if I don't achieve any of those, I have asked Kayla to wheel me out with a wheelbarrow and just save me from the embarrassment. That way I don't show my face again. But I am hoping that you guys end up being inspired. So to start off with my story, I was born and raised in South Africa, hence the borrowed accent from the British. And it is a far away from home, but born and raised in South Africa. And the reason why I'm standing here today is because of a woman who decided that I was worth an investment of a lifetime. A woman who unknowingly created a catalyst of events, amounted in people investing in mentoring me, in sponsoring me, in championing me, in managing me, in a way that now has given me the opportunity to go in and do it for others. And some of the ways in which I have done it is by partnering up with organizations such as NESB to go in and give back to the community of Black engineers, because without such organizations, I would not be where I am today. I've worked with my alma mater in building career development programs that help students who come from first-generation backgrounds like mine, who were told that all you need to do is get to college, and then you're going to find a job miraculously after you graduate from college, which is not the truth. And so I've worked with my alma mater to help build structures so that our students are actually better prepared. And that's just one of the ways in which I have had the opportunity to give back. So in 2007, like Kevin, who was an day, actually prior to 2007, I just always have known I was going to be a STEM girl. Back then, I didn't know that it was considered STEM. I just knew what I was really good at and what I enjoyed. And now looking back, as I connect the dots, it's always been STEM. I fell in love at 10, 11 years old, not with a boy because I'm African, and I'm not allowed to fall in love with boys until I'm 25, and then I'm expected to be married by 30 and have children. And those expectations come from the exact same woman. But I fell in love with a computer. And this was my first true love. My mother was a domestic worker, which means that she cleaned and took care of people, cleaned houses rather, and took care of people's children to keep food on the table. One of the people whose houses she cleaned happened to be a teacher who had a great investment and interest in me. And so I had the opportunity to go to her home after school as my mother was taking care of her home and explore that little beauty that you see behind you. To some people, it may look ancient, but that was the first computer that I interacted with. And I remember how much joy and excitement I would feel every time I would go to my teacher's house to interact with it. Mind you, I did nothing special. All I was doing was playing paintball. I was playing Minesweep. I would go in and create what I believe is abstract art using the paint feature and just type up letters. But this was something that really, really excited me. Because I came from a community where there weren't too many resources, the odds of me being able to pursue that passion and that joy was very limited, which is why I'm an advocate for mentorship and for boot camps. Yesterday, I got to meet two lovely individuals who were a part of a boot camp, very similar story. And Miss Gwen, who's one of the oldest people in that boot camp, was sharing how when she first went in and delivered her first piece of code, it felt like magic. She just saw something appear on the screen after typing out an entire bunch of code, and I mirror that feeling. And so whenever I go in and I work on products, I've had the opportunity to work as a developer, as a product program manager, and now I'm a QA engineering lead at Meta, which is a crossover of a technical program manager, but also a compliance officer. And the feeling that I chase when I go in and I build products is that I felt the first time when I interacted with this computer. I want our users to be excited by the products that we build. I want them to wonder who the genius is behind the device, behind the product, and to experience the joy that I felt. So back to how I ended up where I am. In 2006, the same year that I fell in love with this beauty, a woman decided to come to South Africa and invest. She decided that she wanted to open a school for girls who were academically gifted and who came from backgrounds like mine. So girls who were born in poor backgrounds with limited resources. So most of my probably 3 months of 2006, I spent it interviewing against thousands and thousands and thousands of girls in South Africa who were just as smart, just as deserving of the opportunity. And by God's grace, in 2007, I was one of the 150 girls to be a part of the inaugural class of the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls, a school in South Africa that offers so many girls from different backgrounds of poverty the opportunity to dare to dream, which is why I stand here and say, it takes only one person to believe in you at the capacity that this woman has. And so I hope that each of you will go away today realizing that we all stand in the position to be able to give back that capacity. It may seem small to you, but it may be a life-changing opportunity to somebody else. And so I urge you, please, if it's an hour of your time every day towards mentorship, if there is somebody in your program who you think this person has so much potential, champion them, sponsor them, because these kinds of opportunities are the reason why technology ends up being such a beautiful space of diversity, because it gives children like myself the opportunity to come in and enjoy technology in the way that we are enjoying it today. Also, I choked up. I practiced this and I wasn't crying. I don't know what happened, but anyway. And so when I go in and I build products, I carry the story with me because it reminds me of the feeling that I felt. And I understand that somewhere in the world, the products that we build and the products that you build are the products that are going to be a first introduction of technology to somebody. And so that's why it's so important to me that when we go in and we build user experiences, we build them in the optimal way. And quality is actually one of the ways in which you can go in and ensure that your users have the optimal experience. So what is quality? In its simplicity, it can be defined as a degree of excellence of something, anything at all. My personal favorite is that it's synonymous with customer needs and expectations. And so then what does it mean for us to go in and adopt a quality mindset? Not this time around, Kayla, because Kayla offered to pick me up from the airport. Every other time that I travel, I somehow always end up at the airport with a phone battery that's at less than 5%, while I have to call my Uber. And so I'm going to use that as a case study on how you can explore a quality mindset. So the typical responses to that is I could find a plug point to charge my phone. I could call the Uber and then estimate and see if they're going to make it there within time. If they're not going to make it within time, then I can go ahead and cancel the Uber. I could carry a portable charger like my friend Michael over there. I could find a cab station instead of just trying to find an Uber, or my personal favorite, describe and hope. This is where I stand in one exact spot, call the Uber driver, tell him exactly what I'm wearing, what my hair looks like, the color of my bag, and what exactly is behind me. And then I cross my fingers and I hope that my phone doesn't die before he finds me. Horrible, don't do it, unless if you want to give yourself anxiety. So that's what a quality mindset is. It's identifying risk and potential compromise to user experience and mitigating it. There are different ways in which you could go in and adopt a quality mindset. You could either do it by being proactive, which is not what Andronica does, or you could be reactive, which is what Andronica does, and just walk you through it. So when we're talking about building user experiences and products, what we're hoping for in adopting a quality mindset is we want to understand the optimal experience and build guardrails into designing and developing this. So back to our initial example, how you could be proactive in adopting a quality mindset is that you could charge your phone the night before. Simple. Just wake up with a fully charged phone, get on your airplane, and then get there. The goal of quality mindset is how do we go in and make sure that the user experience is not painful. In my case, the user experience being painful is finding myself at an airport, potentially stranded, as opposed to getting home safely. And so that's what it is. And why should we care about a quality mindset or adopt a quality mindset? For me, as I said, I feel like a great quality product is a love letter to our users. And if that corny line is not inspiring enough for you to want to adopt a quality mindset, well, these are some of the reasons why you should do it. It's a catalyst for reduced cost risk. In my example, calling the Uber and then having to cancel it means I'm going to have to incur a $5 charge or whatever that charge is, which is something that could have been reduced had I not gone in and actually waited until the last minute to get myself situated. Lowered expenses, which again speaks to that. It reduces the cost risk. The risk of me not being able to make it home safely or being in an Uber driver who is a stranger to me's truck and having my phone die and whatever else could happen after that. So that's the second reason why we want to do it. And then the third and most important to me is that we want to go in and improve our customer experience. For software engineers, the reason why it's important to you is that poor quality software means that you're going to have to do tech debt. And what that means is you go in, you build a product, you have a lot of bugs, and then at the end of it, you have to come back and invest so much time to do clean up for that, which is time that you could use to develop new products or you could use to develop new features. So that's why it's important for you to invest in quality at an earlier stage. Refactoring, which is the same thing as tech debt. But ultimately, what it means is that you are going to increase delivery costs and ultimately lose sales. Worst case scenario, you're going to go in and lose your users. I personally have found myself going from one application to its competitor because of the bad quality experience that I have had. And when we're building products, that's not what we want to happen. So now that I've run you through what it is, why it's important, how do we go in and adopt a quality mindset? So first, you want to define it. As you're going in and building your products, you could do it at a company level, you could do it at a team level, or even an individual level. You go in and you define what it looks like for your users to have the optimal experience without bugs, without interruptions, and just have a great experience on your applications. And then you go in and you set goals. So an example of a great goal would be, I want my screen to load in less than 4 seconds when you are going in and you're building your features. If you don't do that while you're defining goals, it could be something that pops up in the end that you're going to have to do as tech debt. So a QA team could come to you and say, hey, it's taking about 1.5 minutes for this page to load. And so that's why it's so important for us to go in and set those goals while we are designing and developing our programs. Passion. You want to go in and just have people be excited about quality. Hopefully as excited as I am, or even more excited. And there are different ways in which you could go in and do that. So sharing quality stories. Some people are number people. So you could say to them, hey, if you go in and you decide that quality is important at the beginning of your design and your feature development, then you're going to end up spending less time in tech debt, and bring metrics around that for people to understand how it actually works. And then we want to align. You want to make sure that everybody that's on your team is aligned in the strategy and is aligned in adopting a quality mindset. So you want it to actually be a culture for your team and your company and an individual, as opposed to just one person driving it across the stream. Next up, you want to have a process and tooling. So that is respective to each of your teams. You can decide in what way a process works or a tool works for quality. But an example of a process that I have on all of the teams that I support is that I always ask the engineers, when you are designing, before we even get to the coding part of it, tell me what could go wrong. And then tell me how you're going to prevent it from going wrong. And so when they are going in and they're developing, they're thinking of all the possible ways in which a user experience can be interrupted, and proactively are figuring out how their code can go in and intercept that before they even develop it. And it's something that I have seen great value in. Number 6 is you want to train. You want to go in and train everybody on your team, everybody who you interact with, to have this quality mindset and to understand that. Number 7, that one is personal, and it's probably for me. You want to be proactive. You don't want to find yourself stranded at an airport with 2% charge, dreaming and hoping that your Uber driver is going to find you before your phone cuts off. So again, in the Uber instance, one of the ways of being proactive is carrying a portable charger, or making sure that you go in and you charge your phone the night before. Number 8, which is important to me, customers. You want to engage your customers, whether they're internal or external. You want to get their feedback and see how they feel about your product and what are the feelings that they get when they're interacting with your product. If even more, you could go and ask them, hey, go ahead and interact with our competitor and see what the difference of feeling is, so that you can go in and realize how everybody else is building quality in a way that makes your customers choose your product. Because ultimately, that's who we're building it for. We're building it for our customers. And then you want to go in and optimize. The best ways of optimizing is getting real-time feedback. So one of the ways that I will do it is I'll have some of my friends try out the application for me, and while they are running through the application, I'll take down notes, and oh, this is what they don't like, this is what they do like. So you could find ways to optimize. And then most importantly, you want to recognize people who do this. You want to go in and create a recognition system within your company, within your team, that gives kudos to people who actually think that this is important and have shown ways in which they have adopted this. So that's how you can go about adopting a quality mindset. Lastly, quality should become a mindset, not a step. In a lot of the ways that the engineering process is now built, they'll say to you, develop, and then go in and test it. And it's like, no, you want to make sure that all of that is happening synchronously, because that's when you get the best out of your product. Last but not least, again, my name is Andronica Klass, and I had one intention, which was to inspire. I had two goals, which was to inspire you to invest in our communities, to invest in championing and mentoring and giving opportunity to many others so that people are able to enjoy and interact with technology in the way that we do. My second goal was to inspire you to adopt a quality mindset, and I hope I have at least achieved one out of the two. With that being said, here I am on Twitter and LinkedIn. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out. I'll be here for the rest of the day. Feel free to bug me. Thank you guys so much.